morning, student. And today we will discuss about the chapter 1 of microeconomics, that is introduction. In last year, during your 11th class, you discussed about the microeconomics, and in your 12th class you have to study about the microeconomics. So in the beginning of chapter we will discuss about the meaning of this micro and macro. So first we have a word macro. This macro word under the microeconomics, this word micro came from Greek language. That word is a macros, and this macros means, we can say, small. So this microeconomics deals with individual or household or a firm activity, while this macroeconomics this macro word also came from Greek language as this macro word. This macro word came from macros, while this word micro also came from a Greek language, while this macro also came from a Greek language. This macros means large. So this macroeconomics deals with whole economy. Whole economy deals with especially the problems of a whole economy. So this is the introduction part. Now we discuss the difference between the micro and macro. First we have a micro, then we have a macroeconomics. So first is about the basis of study. Under this we always discuss about the scarcity and the choice, that deals with individual level, like we can in the 11th class we studies about the utility and indifference curve. These two concepts describe us about the choice of individual or a firm. Then in the macro we discuss the choice, but this choice deals with not individual but the whole economy. Means how a country uses resources for the welfare of its nation. Then we have some economic variables. We have some economic variables, like the economic variables under the macroeconomic is consumers demand. Then we also have an economic variable that we discuss under the macro is producers supply. But the economic variables under that discussed under the macroeconomics, both are the aggregate, like the aggregate demand, aggregate supply that we discuss. Then we have the economic agent that are discussed under the both macro and macro. The economic agents of macro are the consumer and producer. Economic agent, word economic agent, a person who takes decision regarding economic condition, means the person who take the economic decision known as economic agent. So we can say the consumer is a economic agent because a person who takes the economic decision is known as economic agent. For example, you are as a consumer, so you have the choices of these two pens. This is the red and this is the blue. So always you take the decision whether you buy this red pen or this blue pen. So as an economic agent, you are always free to decide which thing you are willing to buy. No one can force that you can buy this red pen or this blue pen. So as an economic agent, you are free to take the decision. So you are the consumer, you are economic agent. Like that, a producer is a person who produce the thing, also an economic agent, because as a producer, you produce this mobile phone. So as a producer, you are free to take the economic decision which material you can use this mobile phone or what type of a feature you can add up in this mobile phone. So as an economic agent, both consumer and producer are counted under the microeconomics, while economic agent of macroeconomics are first RBI, Reserve Bank of India, then TRI, then we also have a SEBI. RBI, that is called the Bank of Bank, is the macroeconomic agent because it controls all over banking or monetary systems of a country. RBI is known as a Bank of Bank, and all the banks need to follow the instructions that are given by the Reserve Bank of India. So we can say macroeconomic agents are different from a microeconomics agent. Then we have a degree of aggression. Degree of aggression. Degree of aggression is different from macro and macro. Macro and macro. Both degree of aggression is different in both the economics. As under the macro, we can discuss the problems related to the equilibrium. Equilibrium that is on the level of a individual, like a producer's equilibrium, the consumer's equilibrium. Both are at the levels of individuals. So we can say that its degree of aggression is limited, while the degree of aggression under the macro is wide or large, because macroeconomics deals with the overall economy, the whole economy. So the equilibrium that is discussed here, like the equilibrium of output, then employment. So this equilibrium is at the levels of a whole economy. So at the degree of aggression is different in the both micro and macroeconomics. Here in the macroeconomics, the degree of aggression is limited, while the degree of aggression in the macroeconomics is large or a wide. Then we have a central issue. Central issue. The central issues of a micro are, we have under this equilibrium, central issues of these are related to the individual, like allocation of resources, This allocation of resources based on, because we have unlimited wants, and we have the limited resources. So to complete our needs, we always need a choice between which thing we can use or whether we use this or not. So we also have deals with allocation resources, because our resources are all, whenever we can use them for unlimited wants, they will end up within the one day or within the some period. That is why we need allocation of resources. While the central issue that is under the macro deals with the whole economy. So this is, we can call the general price level. It also, there is a central issue of a micro, like output and employment equilibrium. So both have different central issues. The central issues of this is just deals with a single firm or a household, and the central issues of a micros are deals with the issue that have under the central point. Then also the methods of study. Methods of study are different. To discuss the whole economy or discuss at the individual level, we have the two methods that studies the economics. First is partial method, partial equilibrium analysis method. Then we have a general equilibrium analysis method. These two methods are used to study the whole economics. Under this method, we discuss the economic conditions of a one market, means only a single market, and where we always assume that there is no change in other market. So that is the assumption that is follows in the partial equilibrium. While in the general equilibrium analysis method, we discuss the whole economy or all the markets. So this method discussed in the microeconomics, and this method is used in the macroeconomics. So under this method, it discusses the individual market that have the no change in the other markets. And while the macroeconomics deals with the general equilibrium analysis method that discuss the problems of all the market or at the levels of a whole economy. This is all about the today's chapter.